podcasts, merch, and blogs. This is the Rebel Yell podcast, supported by MK Window Cleaning and Price Jones Electrical.
Nightclubbing.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 10 of the Rebel Yell podcast of the 24-25 season. Chaps, it's been a couple of months. James, Jacco and Spencer in the room. We have
Hello.
got an intruder.
Hola.
We've got an intruder. Wow.
We're on
I mean,
it.
there's this guy that, used to sort of help out and, he kicked me off the commentary, to go commentating with Pete a couple of years ago.
Used to
He was
work,
better.
yeah.
He's from some other country around the world. He's not this like Jacco, like a sort of international club here.
Keeps coming back.
Keeps coming back, can't stay away. His name's Jack Williams.
It's a hell of an introduction. Thank you.
It? Media sensation of Worthing FC, former media sensation of Worthing FC. Jack, welcome to Rebel Yell podcast. I know you've been dying since you've come to the club to get on this podcast because we know it's all better than the official commentary channel, don't we, guys? It's got banter and street waffling. And street waffling.
It is my second appearance.
And no annoying children on the microphone during commentary. It is your second appearance.
Yeah.
The first time was obviously when Hinch decided to bugger off and go up north.
Who?
But he's doing quite a good job, isn't he? Taking our
doing all right.
goal scorer with him. He's doing a bloody good job as well. But Jack, welcome. Is it? It's weird actually seeing Jack in non-club media like
It is, isn't
tracksuit.
it?
I've worn my own clothes
He's
for a
got a
change.
wardrobe. He's actually got.
I didn't realise that he had his own
Civvies.
clothes.
And I'm disappointed it's not a badging or something like that. I'm sure it's Stone Island. That comes soon when he's not commentating. Jack, it must feel a little bit strange to be. I know you've been commentating since you left, but as a volunteer basis. But it must be weird to be back here now as a fan, really.
Yeah, it's really strange. I came back. My first time back was last Thursday. It sounds like I've been away ages talking like that.
Probably
but
feels it though.
I'd been to the game on Saturday against Hemel, and then hadn't really thought about. I'd started my new job on the Monday, and hadn't really thought about football for the first few days, and then came back on the Thursday evening to do the interview with Haighy, and kind of came back here and sort of had a sudden realization of wow, yeah. There's a football club here that I haven't thought about, and
It feels
they're
like
doing amazingly well. And like,
Well, actually, since you've left,
yeah, it's not gone.
has he left? I don't think he's actually
since
left
he's not
yet.
been paid, we've gone. But there was also one thing I don't know if you guys. I know Spencer, you don't use X or Twitter, whatever it's called, but Jacco does, and I think Jack did sort of set himself up nicely. A bit of an ego trip there when he tweeted, sending thanks to Jack Williams, outgoing head of media. I mean, that was a big ego boost, Jack,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
twice I've done that. My
Yeah.
birthday as well. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
definitely was.
Who did that?
It was Matt Axel.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah,
it
that's
was.
it.
I
Yeah,
promise you.
Of course
it was. Matt Axel. I wouldn't do that.
I did text him in the morning. Go, you're a bit big-headed, aren't you, mate? Yeah, tweeted himself. But so just first of all, tell us where you've gone. Are you allowed to say where you've gone?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've started at Sussex Cricket.
What's cricket?
Yeah,
Cricket.
I know. There's a lot of people that it won't be to their taste. Cricket. I'm sure it's not to everyone's taste at all. But I've worked in cricket before. It was actually my previous job was at Glamorgan Cricket in Cardiff, closer to home for me. And yeah, Sussex is now home for me, and Sussex Cricket. The job came up there, and yeah, I'm very, very excited by it, and have enjoyed my few days in the role down in Hove so far.
I mean, as you know, I'm not a cricket fan. I think you know that by now. But I do know that Sussex is a big club, and it's a big name in cricket. So that's a great opportunity for you, mate.
Yeah, and it's one I'm very, very excited about, and I'm forever indebted to Worthing Football Club, to be honest, for the opportunity they gave me that has allowed me to move on to this job at Sussex as well. So yeah, it's a very exciting time.
It is, yeah. No, I think it will be. And
This time next year, be working on TMS.
TMS.
There you go. That's how much he knows about cricket.
knowledge.
What's TMS?
Test match special. It's
Oh right, is that the thing on BBC?
Yeah, that's
thing.
it.
I've been flying out to India for the IPL or whatever. That's the most I know. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it'll be nice in the summer. You have a nice tan by the end of the summer. Or are you under shelter when you're in
We're
the
actually
stadium?
inside for cricket.
that's
so
a bit
you,
rubbish,
so you
isn't it?
have to brave the cold for all the football matches, or
Yeah.
in all the press boxes in some shoddy stands like Hornchurch on Tuesday night, and
Yeah.
freezing cold, and then as soon as the sun comes out in the cricket, you're inside in a media box.
And what will you be doing? Are you doing are you overall saw the whole of media here at Worthing? I understand it's not just
so it is just social media manager. So I'm working underneath my boss called Jamie. He is the marketing and communications manager. And then I've actually got Isaac Gleave working with me, who's done quite a lot of co-commentary with me this season.
Okay.
We didn't know we were applying for the same role, and then we've ended up both being offered a job there. So
okay, so you his boss now?
No, we're effectively
same level,
on the same level. Yeah.
So do you do commentary for cricket, or is that not something you literally just the social posts?
I can just about waffle my way through 90 minutes. I'm not sure I could do a full
commentary
4 days.
4 hits the ball.
So regarding social, so we're talking social media, mainly match days, or are we talking just general content?
General content. So my first day, for example, was their first day back outside for the summer. So it was we went outside, grabbed as much content as possible, and then planning to release that as and when. So it's kind of a nice backward step in terms of responsibility. Like I've sort of at a very young age had a lot to take in here and a lot to control. So it's nice to sort of focus on one thing.
Nothing against Worthing and the job here, but it sounds more fun.
I think Worthing set his foundations, hasn't he, for your media world?
Well, that's it.
It's a good start for him, and then hopefully Worthing won't rue to regret giving him that massive increase of pay rise that he deserved, and then he's gone to Sussex Cricket. But I think it will be weird not seeing you around, because obviously we still see you around for this season. Hopefully it'll be a good end to your career here at Worthing, but I think you'll be tough to replace, mate. You will be tough to replace. So hopefully,
I'll second that.
Yeah, and someone that's helped us out a lot with a lot of our projects. With the merchandise, with the podcast. End of season, the live events, and wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So hopefully, the next person, I won't say anything because they might be good, and I don't want to sort of already ruin any sort of prospective relationship. But is it Miles? Is that what he's Is that what he's doing? He's going to be Miles. He's taken over. Yeah, that's it. He's like, what's going on? He's like a meerkat there. Anyway, this is a football podcast. Give your cricket thing down the road. Yeah. All right, cool.
No more cricket chat.
Coming up on the Rebel Yell podcast, we've got Eleanor Keegan, Danielle Rowe, hopefully Liam Nash this month, and JC and Haighy give their updates. But guys, I think let's talk about the women's team, because unfortunately we had that special podcast last month, which was a podcast special that no one wanted to do. Rest in Pete. It was it's sort of unsettled us a little bit, hasn't it? Because we weren't expecting it. Bless him. Obviously, the last time we recorded, he was still in hospital. This time, unfortunately, he's not here with us anymore, and that was a really nice special. I enjoyed recording that. It just showed how much Pete meant to people. So, God rest your soul, Pete. I'm sure you're partying up there with Kev Golds and Sarah and everyone, having a few beers and pints and cigarettes, watching Worthing hopefully take us to the title. But the women's team, season's over for them really in terms of the title. AFC Bournemouth won the title this Sunday. Amazing attendance of 7,500.
That's a lot.
That's an amazing achievement. And we all knew when they came down to Woodside that they had money behind them. They were a professional outfit. The men's team obviously feeding down. They got these new training facilities getting built down in Bournemouth, and it's no surprise really, is it, chaps, that Bournemouth have gone on and won the league?
No, not really. The amount of money they throw at it, and like you said, they're professional. They're full-time professionals. And if they didn't win the league, you would be asking questions why.
Absolutely.
It's true. Since we last recorded, they've lost 3-1 to Brighton in the Cup, won 3-1 against Keynsham, lost 6-0 to Swindon and 2-1 to Abingdon. And on my understanding from Ray, the photographer, One Rebels View, the refereeing standard on Sunday's game was maybe something to be questioned, let's just say. And unfortunately, I found this season with the women's team that we've said it here at Woodside, fans are often one of these that are very quick to criticise the referee, but Christ almighty, some of the referees that we've seen refereeing our women's games this season, sorry, but I'm sure I could referee better than that.
Yeah, it's not just the referees, it's the assistants as well. The general standard's not great, to be honest.
And it costs club points, frustrations. Like, I think from the understanding I got, we shouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah, they tend to almost forget how much their decisions can impact things, don't they? I think it's just the overall standards not been good enough.
But it's not really the women's game or the refereeing, isn't it? I think it's a general across the board problem, refereeing. It's not the men's game. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, when you've got a good ref, good officials, you don't notice them, and the game goes by, and that's it. And the amount of games where you spend your time or afterwards talking about the officials.
That's it. That should be their number one responsibility, really, is to go unnoticed throughout 90 minutes if they can. But it seems to be that there's a lot of them that want to take centre stage.
About them.
Or Jacco and me getting shouted at by opposition managers. What team was that again? That was before you recorded the last one, wasn't it? Just before.
Oh, that was Team for Summers.
1-1. Yeah, it was
Bridgewater.
Wasn't it? Yeah, idiots. But I think
Let it go.
I can't. I'm not like Elsa. I can't.
He's
let
not
it
that
go.
bitter.
Not that bitter. Player departures. There's been a lot of departures from the team. We'll touch on that with the girls and JC. But Cooper, Winchester, Richardson, Davies, Hume, Tibble, and Dalton have all left the club since we last recorded. In my opinion, it's obviously a very this is a for the fans podcast. I don't think that shows good team. They should stay together till the end of the season. No, we know some are for personal reasons, but to leave with a few games left must be very frustrating for Danielle as a captain, seeing this sort of core of the players, wouldn't you say?
I think it is frustrating, and it's harder when you play team sport, isn't it? And we don't know why people leave. And there's, I know one or two might have gone travelling, and the other people you don't know. But I think what doesn't help is their inconsistency of playing games. And they play a game, then they got 2 weeks off, and then they play 3 games in 1 week, and then they got 4 weeks off.
Yeah, it's hard to commit.
And it's hard. And I think the league they were put in this year, the travel, it takes a lot out of you. And it's your whole Sunday is gone, and actually your Saturday is gone because you have to go to bed early because you have to get up early on the Sunday.
And the season's finished effectively.
Yeah, it
so
has.
Obviously some of them have made a personal decision. It's like may as well go now.
Rightly or wrongly, I think.
Yeah, it's rightly or wrongly, but.
And that's the thing with team sport, isn't it? If you play tennis, what you do is you let yourself down or not. And if it's a team sport, you never know, do you?
Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame because we have seen a good core group of girls over the last few years, started with John and getting the promotion and winning the league and, then doing well last year and then obviously being moved across. But, the inconsistencies, maybe these are things that the FA need to look at because, especially at this level where, as we know, the girls, again, rightly or wrongly, aren't paid to play football, but giving up their Sundays, travelling all the way down to Bridgewater, all that way.
They're not just giving up a Sunday. It's a Tuesday,
weekend,
Thursday night training.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Saturday, they're not going night clubbing. Oh, you hope they're not.
They're not going night clubbing. They're not down the discotheque.
Discotheque. But you know what I mean?
I can imagine he says to Jack when he's 18, Jack, are you going out night clubbing tonight in Brighton?
I'm at clubbing. I just...
Is that what we call it in Dutch?
But you know what I mean? They give up more than just a Sunday, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
And
anyway, enough of that. Let's speak to JC.
The Rebel Yell Podcast.
JC, welcome back to the Rebel Yell Podcast. How have you been, mate?
Thank you. Yes, a pleasure to be here as usual. Yeah, good. I mean, obviously facing the end of the season now.
Yeah.
A few challenges, of course, because, obviously we are in a position a bit in the middle of nowhere, fighting for third, fourth place, which is good. Obviously, it's a good season overall, but we find it hard sometimes to find that motivation to keep pushing, But
yeah, I mean, since we last spoke, you've lost in the Cup to Brighton, which was unfortunate. Won against Keesham, lost against Swindon and Abingdon. So it's not been the best sort of couple of months, and you haven't played as much as you probably would like either, have you?
No, it's that thing. They always leave a lot of dates free because of postponed games, but we didn't have. We only have one. Actually, this is the one that we're playing next weekend. So now, we have, even in the next month, we only have 2 games.
Yeah.
So it's a bit annoying, but not been the best. It's true that when we lost against Brighton, it makes no sense because, as I say, now we have 2 games in 1 month, but that week we play 3 games in a week.
Yeah.
Because they force you to play a midweek game, yes or yes, even if you have 3 dates. So, something that probably the league needs to look at.
I thought that actually the Brighton game, I didn't think we played really badly. I think Brighton weren't that great.
Well, obviously, I need to think.
I know, so that's a long time ago.
They were physical and they were quite good at the dark half.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I think we play, as I say, we play midweek on Thursday against Moneyfields, that is second on our league. Obviously, a big game for us. Very physical, very demanding as well from us. So when you have that on Thursday and then you have to come against another good team and physical team on Sunday, I think we paid that a little bit. And at some point, I don't think the first half was that bad either. I think we play a good game, and even I think before this, I'm not sure now if it's their first goal or the second goal. We have a very clear chance as well that if we put it away, it probably
changes the game.
It changed the game, but then I think we pay a little bit. They playing 3 games in a week, and we got a bit tired at the end. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's no point beating around the bush. There's been quite a few departures in the last month at all. Frustrating time for it to happen. How do you sort of regroup and sort of get to that final?
As I say, we
are
facing a few challenges in that sense, because obviously a few players left, for some for the lack of minutes, some for other reasons. They're changing their lives. They just decide to go, but it's that bit as well that when we are now pretty much playing for finish for 5th, and it's not going to be a massive difference on points either. I think it's a bit of lack of motivation. So I mean, we're still trying to obviously work hard every session. I think the girls that are coming are working hard. We getting very unlucky as well with injuries. We have pretty much in every game we pick 2 injuries.
Yeah.
So it's so nice.
It must be frustrating for you though, because obviously you're so close to the end of the season. Fair enough if they don't want to play for the club anymore, but you think, stay with the team, stay with the girls, get together and get to that finish line, and whatever happens in the summer happens. As you said, the league's been won by Bournemouth. They blasted it out of the league. I mean, they had a 7,500 attendance, I think, at the weekend to lift the trophy, which is great for this level of women's football. So I guess you can think now they're out of the league, it's quite good, because planning for next season, it might be quite nice to sort of dream a little bit, I think.
Are we staying in this league or are we moving?
Oh,
again?
who knows?
It looks like we will stay in this league, but hopefully it will be much better for us to move to the other league, obviously, to go back to the East League. But it's not in our hands. The league have to decide that, and it depends who's coming down, who's going up. I don't know, because you got, I think, Billericay and Plymouth now are fighting to see who's going down, but we don't know yet. So
if it's Plymouth, it could push us over.
Maybe.
Go on, Plymouth.
And if they go, and if it's Plymouth going down and we stay in this league, we don't want that. We don't want that trip anyway.
No,
we're familiar with Plymouth, aren't we?
Yeah, I think it's a bit early to say that. So I think we need to think that, there is a chance that we stay in this league. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I think next year with Bournemouth going, still you have a few clubs pushing a lot, and you can just see Swindon pay an undisclosed fee for a player from Oxford a couple of weeks ago, which is, I think, the first time that happened at this level as well.
Yeah.
So when you start to see things like that at this level, is obviously great, but you can see that
it doesn't help us yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, no. So this has probably been the last time we speak to you with the matches coming up, because I think the time we record the next podcast depends on how the season pans out. It'll probably most likely be over for you and the ladies. What are the sort of plans for summer? Do you start planning now, or is it sort of the talks around the club?
Obviously we start planning now. Obviously how our pre-season is going to look like, and obviously as we said, we get into this end of the season with some challenges, and I think it's a good time as well. I always said that when something is not probably going the way you wanted, that is probably how we're finishing now. It's something good, because it helps you to realize, okay, what mistakes we made, what things we need to change. We need to understand as well that obviously my first season coming to the club, I came just 1 week before pre-season. So my first priority was, okay, try to keep all the players, because I didn't have time to bring a lot of new players. Try to understand the club, try to understand the players, and understand the new league as well. And now we have a better picture, I think, and a bigger picture of everything. So, it's good that we can reflect on, okay, what things we need to improve and we need to change towards next season. So, even if it's a challenging time, it's good, it's positive.
Well, we look forward to seeing the last couple of games. We'll be there, and good luck, and we'll speak to you at the end of the season.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, JC.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Good to hear from him. JC there. Be interesting to see with how summer planning goes, don't you think? All these players leaving, not going to lie, there's probably some girls thinking, well, if all these are leaving, what am I going to do? Am I going to have a team to play? And that must be one of the things he's going to face in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. He said he came in last season the week before pre-season and had to pick the team up. And then this season, he's now got half a team.
Yeah, but at least there's plenty of time now to build for next season, isn't it? And I think the only thing, like we alluded to, it's waiting what league we're going to be in. Are we going to be in the same league, or are we going to back to the Southeast London League? And it will be easier to sell to people, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
If you want to get a player, but forget about your Sundays because we're travelling to Bristol or even further away.
It's almost like that's the sort of thing you see in the men's game when you got teams like Oxford City in the National League North and stuff like that, and when you had not Braintree, who was it? Bishop Stortford last year having trouble. It's almost like that for the women, but there's so many teams in that southwest where you can now see for the first time ever how unfair and unreasonable it seems for a team to be getting sent that far away.
Yeah, but will the FA look at it?
Probably not.
I don't think they will.
The FA for all, isn't that they're saying? For all? No, for few.
It's where geography's not on our side because we're literally on that line. We can go either way.
Because what was the furthest away match we played in the southeast? Wasn't it Milton Keynes and stuff like that, and Cambridge? I think, that sort of way.
Southeast was Cambridge.
Milton Keynes. No, not Milton Keynes. Wimbledon were in that league, but they won it, didn't they? And Fulham.
It was Cambridge and Norwich.
Yeah, so that was the furthest distance away. And quite a few London teams as well, weren't there? So that'd be interesting to see. Anyway, let's speak to the OG model herself, Danielle Rowe, and the PNLP. Not PNLP, that's my other podcast, isn't it?
What?
Good plug.
Oh,
James.
plug.
He didn't mean that.
I'm doing a role tonight.
Jacco, have you got any plugs? We've got Sussex Cricket. James's other podcast.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug?
I might plug something later on.
Is Nightclubbing, where he's going Nightclubbing this Saturday. Anyway, and Eleanor Keegan, obviously, giving us an update in person this month.
The Rebel Yell Podcast.
Joining us, we have podcast royalty. Back again. Eleanor Keegan's back. And we've got OG model, Danielle Rowe. You do know about that, don't you, El? You've seen the photos, yeah.
I got absolutely rinsed for that. I will just add that. But thank
Why?
you. Just because of the model appearance.
I
It was
thought
the stance.
we sold like hundreds of shirts. Now we're trying to clear them. So if you know anyone that wants a bulk buy, let us know, please. They're on for a
that
tenner
was
at the
obviously all
moment.
because
Yeah.
of me, not because of Danny anyway.
I
So.
mean, Danny pouted
who?
more than you. I think they had a pout off, and I think Danny won, didn't he? Yeah, Cash.
that
I
was
mean,
select.
yeah.
Is the rumour true? He spent more time on makeup than anybody
Yeah,
else?
he did. Yeah. He was nicking all the makeup, wasn't he? Girls, welcome back to the podcast. I thought it was sort of, as we said to Jace, that wasn't me, by the way. Christ almighty. These chairs.
Oh, yeah, the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, there we go. That's an outcome. If only we'd been on video there, that would have been good, wouldn't it?
What on
Video
earth have you had for your dinner?
He's got bright red as well, look at him.
I feel a bit sick.
Right, composure.
Statics.
Right, brilliant. Thanks for that. I'm going to blame Keith for that now because we were all nice and standing up earlier and now kicked us out. Anyway, right. Where were we? Welcome back. I farted. Welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing, girls?
Yeah, good, thank you.
On that note, yeah, since they can't train anymore, they've done their fitness session for the night, laughing. Yeah, it's like stomach exercise and stuff like that. We thought we'd get you back on the podcast because it is towards the end of the season now. The league's done and dusted. Bournemouth, well done, champions. They've thrown a lot of money at it. We all know that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah blah blah. But we thought we'd get you back on and just sort of sum up the last couple of months. It's been a sort of frustrating up and down, I'd say. We started off with the Brighton Cup game knocked out, unfortunately, and probably as we all said, didn't deserve it. We've had some questionable refereeing decisions in there, especially maybe a game on Sunday just gone. But sum it up to us, because we've seen players leave, we've seen players go. We'll touch on that. But, what are your thoughts?
I think it's quite hard to sum up, to be honest. I think since Christmas, it's been so up and down from the start of the year. We went unbeaten for 6 games or something like that through sort of January and into the middle of February. And then the kind of last month is just, I think frustrating is the only way really that you can sum it up. With a lot of players leaving for different circumstances, it's just kind of left us a bit short. And, we have lost some really important players to us as well. And I just think that's just made a massive difference. And we've not been able to kind of recover from that really.
Yeah.
And do you think the stop-start of your league and games doesn't help either? Because I think we watched the game a while ago and I said, it looked like you never played together because it was after a long period of not playing.
Yeah. Then it's 2 games in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, but it's what they organise, so we just have to get on with it. But like Dan said, it's a bit of a roller coaster, hard to sum up. But like she said as well, we have lost some really important players to us, and it does take effect whether we like it or not. We work as hard as we can, and I don't think anyone's giving up when we're playing, but it does take its toll.
Danielle, as a captain, obviously you mentioned about the players leaving. Is it a little bit, obviously I'm not asking you to throw them on the bus because they're your friends and stuff, but it must be frustrating for you that they couldn't just hold out to the end of the season? Because we know some people have left for personal reasons already, that's fine, you knew they were going. But some that have just upped and left or sort of, maybe not shown the commitment as the club captain, Must be frustrating. You think, come on, girls, we've got 3-4 games left. Just stay till the end of the season. Whatever you do in the summer, we'll respect that decision. But how would you sort of get over that and stop yourself getting so overly frustrated? Because it must be hard.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like you touched on, some people have left for different reasons. G's having the time of her life in Australia, so I'm not gonna blame her for that one. I'm quite jealous of that. But the other players, and I've said it to the girls that are here. I said we need to now stick together. I don't think it helps with what you touched on in terms of essentially our season could be finished by now if we had a game each week, like back to back. But we keep going 2 weeks or 1 week without a game, so. Yes, we've only got 3 games left, but we're still going until the end of April. So maybe that might have made a difference if all our games were together. People could have just been like, right, we've got 3 games left. It's going to take 3 weeks. And then, like you said, we can do whatever we want to do next year. But it's still training each week when you're not then playing on a Sunday. Like if your head's not in it, it is demotivating. So, I've tried my best to keep the girls here that we've got now and just keep us, going, and just kind of said that we've just got to stick it out and do it for each other now until the end of the season, if nothing else.
Well, guys, I think we can agree that we see the core players that are in the club and have been here for a while. We can see the dedication, and you're not doing it for anything but the love of the game. So it's frustrating to see as a fan's point of view, because from a player it must be even more. So keep it up. We've got like 3 games left. Swindon was obviously disappointing. I know speaking to Ray and the girls, no one was blaming each other, just the frustration of not having many games in a row, sort of getting time. How do you regroup from that? Obviously the league's won. You can't really do anything but 3rd, 4th, I think, right now. What's your sort of goals now? Try and hit for that 3rd. Is that your sort of goal almost like at the moment?
I think it's hard. I think, like you said, there's not many games left. Like Bournemouth have obviously taken the league already. I think it's just what Dan said, really. It's just about sticking together, persisting through them games and sort of not changing who we are with the players that are left. Like, we were strong at the start of the season. Obviously, there's been some different factors that affect it throughout the season. But we can't let them affect us as individuals and the group that's left. Like, we are a strong team and we are good players. So I think we just need to stick together, and you just got to persist with what's left, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, even on a personal level, just playing for each other.
Yeah.
You're mates, aren't you?
100%.
Just getting through it.
Yeah, exactly that.
And I think whatever happens, you will learn from it.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, you'll learn from it. It'll make you stronger as a player. Probably help even with mindset and things like that for next season. Like, if you've been through like difficult battles and things that can happen. But yeah, like I said, you just got to persist, like, no matter how hard it gets, because it's a level of like standards as well that you've just got to hold for yourself.
100%. Well, let's stop talking a bit like negatively. Let's talk about some of the good, because as I said to JC in the interview, it's probably the last time we may speak to you this season. Hopefully not ever, but you never know. Football's football. It's a game. We don't know what happens in the summer. But let's talk about this season. I think for the first season in the sort of National League Southwest, it's been not a bad achievement. To hit 3rd, 4th, wherever we end up, FA Cup 3rd round, some great moments, some great times with the girls. How can you sum it up, you two?
I think last year finishing 3rd, in the Southeast, I think ideally we would have quite liked to have pushed on this year, but obviously changing to the West League, when you've got teams like Bournemouth, who I would say are thoroughly deserve to win the league. They're head and shoulders above, all the rest of the teams in that league by far. But there has been some really good games that we can look back on and hold our heads high, like the Exeter game. Taking them to extra time. We should have won that game. Essentially, we had so many chances to actually put the game to bed, and they're 3rd in the league above us. So, we have to take a lot of credit from that and a lot of positives from it. The Brighton game was probably the disappointing one, because I think the County Cup was one that we really wanted to sort of at least get to the Final Four.
It was there, yeah.
And not get disqualified from.
And not get disqualified like last year, that was ours to win last year, but there we go. We won't go into that. So yeah, it was disappointing, because at a time a few weeks ago, we had our sights set on that and to finish 3rd, and it's kind of diminished a bit from that. But as I said, there is a lot of positives to take from previous games.
You've got the added time and travel thrown in this season as well that you didn't have last year.
Yeah,
all of those away games are
based in Bristol.
Yeah, I got bought a house in Bristol just to, to make it easier to get to the games. But no, it did feel like that at a
That's
time.
not even fair on your boyfriend. He plays for Lewis, and you got making him commute even longer. Like,
He's paying for it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Was it Cray Wanderers? Oh no, it was Lewis. I don't know if they still do, but I know when they were very London based, they used to train in South London. They still do that.
Yeah, they do.
So maybe that's what JC needs to do next season. Maybe target girls. I mean, we might lose you guys, but we don't.
Yeah,
want
can't
to
say
do
he's
that,
happy about it.
No,
He trains
okay,
in Greenwich on a Thursday evening when he plays for Lewis. So can't say it's.
That's pretty frustrating when you're playing for Lewis, isn't it? It seems a crazy decision, but there we go. Maybe that's why they're in the league they are and we're in this league, everything like that. Girls, we talk about history, and I know, Elle, we spoke earlier in the season about remembering that historical moment. It is a podcast, so we can't actually visually do anything, but there will be a picture. But we did get this framed for the clubhouse. So it's the picture.
We need an audio description.
We need an audio description. So, girls, describe what it is for the podcast.
Spence, can you turn it around, please?
That is our squad picture, and that was taken. That was at the cup game, wasn't it? Yeah, that's amazing.
That was against Exeter when we had the full squad, and everyone was in.
Everyone was here still.
Good spirits at that time. Yeah.
Well, girls, I know, we wanted to mark from the Supporters Association a moment of history because it is history makers for the club. It's the first time any team that represented Worthing got to third round of the FA Cup. And no matter the result, no matter what, it's just a moment to remember. And
it's in the books, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the books. And this will be hung up in the clubhouse. This isn't like going to be just gathering dust. I've made sure I've spoken to George. It will be put up. We're not sure where yet, but I will make, you know me, I will make sure it's put up somewhere visible, hopefully maybe in that entranceway.
Is that why you brought your toolbox tonight?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Keith's going to walk in there in a minute and go, what the hell is that been up
I'll tell you what, he needs some WD-40 on his backside.
There we go. Let's talk about that again. And we've also got little miniature photos of them all for you to give out the girls in the changing room, everything like that, for you to all have a little memory yourself. I hope that's a really nice touch for you. And, and even if you're not playing for Worthing, you can visit here in the future and you can see that will be hung up in the clubhouse. So, girls.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
no, it means a lot. Yeah, thank you.
So, that's from the Supporters Association. I think that's a nice way to end on it. Girls, good luck for the last 3 games. 3 games? Yeah, 3 games. Get 9 points. Get up to third. Be happy. We'll be cheering on Sunday. And we got a presentation for you on Sunday as well. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I only found out myself the other day.
So you're going to be photoed so much. And she said she didn't like being a model.
I'll make sure I do my hair for it.
Yeah, get the Rebel Yell shirt on instead. There we go.
Nice bottle of fizz.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Danielle, Elle, thank you so much. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, appreciate
it. Thanks,
guys.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
You can sense the frustration around the girls, can't you? They're staying together, sticking as a team, but you can see, you feel for them, don't you? You feel for them.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort gone in this season, and it's all kind of now just gone a bit flat.
Yeah, it has, and I hope there will be a team next year. I really do.
I enjoy going on Sunday and watching it with you guys.
We keep saying we love going on Sunday, but also to throw it away all those years of building everything up. It would be an absolute shame if we didn't have a team.
They've made history this year as well, making the FA Cup third round, the first team that the club has ever had making it that far in the competition. I just hope it can be sort of overhauled in the summer.
Yeah, just really good foundations to be built on, potentially.
And I think in some ways, since the men's team have got higher up and stuff, we've personally got to know the girls a bit better now, and sort of the level we used to know the sort of girls when they're in the Isthmian League. I've got to know them, and I've really enjoyed their company. I really enjoy speaking to them, and it's going to be such a shame that the sort of there'll be other players coming and going. There'll be people coming, and we build that relationship again. But we have got a good relationship. Eleanor on the podcast this season has been fantastic. Girls that have come to the live events have been fantastic. Every month they always open up so well to us when we do the podcast, when we speak to them, and it will be such a shame that disappears.
Yeah, no, it would be an absolute shame, but the future will tell. And and I think as well, what a ground they got to play in now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What a stadium actually.
There's no point speculating because we don't know. We'll do an end of season podcast. We'll know more then, and we'll do a pre-season one. And they've got that picture, which we will make sure, won't we, guys? As I say, I will make sure that gets hung up in the bar somewhere. And I think it's a nice little memento because at the end of the day, no matter what happens, they are history makers at this club. First,
they are.
They hit the third round of the FA Cup, and maybe next season they could go further. So let's wait and see for that. Anyway, shall we hear from Chris Haighy?
The Rebel Yell podcast.
Hi Worthing fans, it's Chris Haighy here doing my monthly update for the Rebel Yell. So the last month has seen us start off the month brilliantly. We won 5 on the spin after Farnborough, which was unbelievable. We've been doing really, really well in general, and got us to top of the league, which is where we all want to be. So that's brilliant. The last 2 games against Welling and Hornchurch have been poor games, to be honest, and games that we're gutted that we haven't picked up more points, when we know, particularly in the Welling game, that game was a game for us to win. But the overriding emotion is that we're 1 point clear at the top of the league, and again, the sort of the vibe is that to be in this position with 6 games left is fantastic. So the feeling in the camp is like, let's go and attack the last 6 games and make it, do our best to make it happen, because we've transformed into a superb football team, and to be top of the league with 6 games to go, I don't think any of us could have asked for any more at the start of the season. So that's where the team's mindset's at, and it's just important that we have Rebel fans at every game cheering us on the best they can, as you always do, because you give us massive boosts for the games. And honestly, as a 12th man, you guys can help us get it over the line. So wanted to say thank you for all your support. It's been fantastic for me personally, and also for the team. I know everybody feels the same. Let's make these last 6 games with 4 home games a run-in to remember, and make sure we do everything we can to get the job done from fans and players, and hopefully we'll have something really positive to cheer about come the end of it. Up the Rebels.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Do you know what? I think the first thing I've got to say to it's fair play to Haighy, because it's not going to be comfortable for him at the moment. I did text him before, as everyone knows, no point beating around the bush. Lucas Cloverland returned to the club and has gone straight in to replace him in the squad. Personally, I felt Haighy was on a good run at the time, so I was gutted for him. And obviously, as a goalkeeper, there's only going to be one position, and if you're a sub, you're never going to do it. I did text him and say, look, do you feel like doing it? And fair play, he said, no, he's enjoyed doing the podcast. And I said, thank you, Haighy. You're an important part of the podcast, you're an important part of the club. Tricky situation for you to be in at the moment, but it's sad to see in it, because we all like Haighy.
He's shown now what a team player he is, though, and how much he still cares about the club and the team and the performances. It's fantastic.
Yeah, if it happened, him being dropped beginning of the season, I could understand it. But, obviously Haighy has got his reasons. We not always agree with him, what he does.
No.
Haighy, but if he makes a decision, you agree and I disagree. But in the end of the day, it doesn't matter who plays. The 11 players out there and the subs on the bench will support him. And I think that the support in the next couple of games is going to be so vital. Because if you think back the first game of the season, Western, and I spoke to somebody earlier, I spoke to Nathan, he said, the guys behind the goal at the Western game, you didn't stop singing, you didn't stop cheering the boys on, and that won the game. And it was so important. And I think for the next 4 home games, the support is vital. It could be make or break.
Yeah, just go get behind the boys.
Yeah, and and yes, I have been critical of players, but I still support them.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, and as you said, Spencer is a great team player to still be training, still smile on his face, doing these things for us. I felt he was on a good roll when Cloverland came in. I thought Cloverland was going to be on.
He'd been improving all season,
and so it did surprise me. I was surprised, but as we said, we're not going to agree with every decision the manager makes. But we're the fans. He's the manager. He's done that for the club, and we've got to accept his decisions.
I think the prime example, what people didn't agree with, when Cashman suddenly wasn't there in the squad, and then we found out Cash was on a break for 5-6 days. And I still, looking back now, I think it was an absolute bit of masterpiece.
Yeah, he's come back a much better player.
Well, if you remember, I don't know if you heard this. I'm sure you heard about it on the afterview, but we were in the sort of stand, we were opposite, when he came off, and Cash's attitude, I'm sure he could admit it wasn't the best. He's like, who, me? Why me? Like, almost like I shouldn't be subbed. And it's almost like his head had gone, and apparently things were said on the bench and stuff like that. So Haighy's obviously taken that decision to say, right, you go on holiday, you go and get your head sorted. And I think I understand from his social, he's been having a few personal issues at home. And, you know, he has come back a much better player. He's got a few extra highlights in his hair as well. So, I mean, he's had time to go to the barbers, hasn't he? Got a few highlights. But I think he's come back better. And if that wins us the league, that could be a stroke of genius.
I agree. And, and also talking about the players, actually on Tuesday night against Hornchurch, Danny, the first thing he did when he walked over to the fans was hold his hand up, apologising to the fans. And Alday and Mo made an effort to come and speak to the fans.
Yeah.
And, and I think that shows that they care. And because sometimes it's quite easy for us to say they don't care. And I think they do.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack, you probably have more of an insider view than us, obviously, through your works media. And I'm sure you could probably admit that no one more would be hurting the guys themselves, because they would have preferred to go in with 7 points clear to Saturday's game. And, you know, as many of us have said, 7 points clear. Yeah, we still won. We're still in our hands. But you'd much prefer to have 7 points and almost ours to lose than have 1 point. But maybe that will keep them on their toes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the players have certainly been hurting over the past couple of games, and I think that's partly because of the fact there's so much emotion going into those games, like with the idea of if you win both, you go 7 points clear with 6 games to go, and suddenly that sounds a lot better than being 1 point clear with six games to go. So they're obviously hurting, and they're determined to put that right. And as you say, I think it just sets up that exciting running now, and I think they're going to be more determined than ever, and they're also going to be back on home turf for 4 of those 6 games, on 3G for 5 of those 6 games. I think they will be determined to put things right. Yeah, and to continue what a fantastic season we've had, by the way. We're a point clear with 6 games to go.
Yeah. We're sitting here, it's almost a bit doom and gloom because we've lost a couple of games and we're top of the table by points.
It's the best position the club's ever been in. We're top of the league, top of the National League South, 6th tier with 6 games to go. I mean, it just needs everyone to rally behind the team.
But move away as being a Worthing fan. What if you're a football fan? The National League South.
The best.
This is the best league at the moment for me.
The best league.
That's chaos.
And even the National North is really good as well. Like both the sort of second tier of non-league right now is unbelievably good. And it's why it frustrated me the other night that I couldn't get to Hornchurch game. Why were DAZN not putting that on TV? I mean, you had all the abuse on. You would have got rid of. You wouldn't have had to close the chat down on the commentary. You could have watched it, but they would have made money. People would have bought that game.
It.
Or dodgy
I think
they
make their decisions too far in advance with their selections. So I think we find out the month before.
But we've had both Torquay games.
Yeah,
that's all we've had.
Well, you might as well call it Torquay United TV.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Torquay are on there all the time.
They do it based on clubs' viewing figures rather than what games they think. They don't take the chance on matches, it's a financial decision.
Then you make you wonder why TNT chose us versus Bath last season, because that was a game in the run-in. They were both going for the playoffs at the time. You know, that was a good game to show.
Yeah.
DAZN should have done that. Maybe they'll learn from it.
They were making the documentary, weren't they?
That probably helped. That probably did help.
That helped.
That helped. It just frustrated me, but, you know, hopefully we won't need to watch any more on TV now.
You say that, though. It frustrated you, but I think there was a good 100+ Worthing supporters there. If the game had been on TV, it would have been 100+. You know, that's you have to balance it.
It's a good way of looking at it.
And you know, you could see it better, Jack, because you were right opposite us.
You were in the dark though, so I couldn't quite tell how many of you were over there.
Way over the running track.
You could hear a lot of people, I think.
Yes, yeah, made a hell of a noise like always.
Well, talking about running tracks, I think one of the sort of games of the last few weeks that really excited me again was Chelmsford. Chelmsford last season, Chelmsford this season, last minute winners. We can't really stop doing it there, can we? I mean, that was just like, you know, just where you thought it was coming out of nowhere. We put cuts inside, gets it near post. Unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. And talk about goals. Liam Nash's goal against Salisbury as well.
Who?
That tight angle.
Who are you talking about?
Talk about it. Bloody hell, that's timing and a half. He's a timing and a half. Liam Nash. Hello, I am, yeah. How are you doing?
Is there a pint of Guinness in your hand, Liam?
Well, I mean, normally I have to cut in and interview, but I mean, what a time to actually walk in the room. I think that's the best timing.
There you go. We don't need no editing.
I don't need editing here.
Live on the go.
Yeah, Liam Nash, welcome to the Rebel Yell podcast.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
We were literally just talking, as you probably heard, about your goal against Salisbury. What an angle! What audacity! What went through your head when you did that? Just shoot.
Well, yeah, it got to the point where I had to in the end. I had obviously tight angle, run down the line. I looked 3 times in the box and no one was there. So my last thought was just put my head down and hit it. And yeah, it went the roof of the net.
Yeah, so I don't think you've really had a problem scoring since you come to Worthing, have you? So
no, yeah.
How did the move come about? Because obviously came from Hornchurch, was obviously a league rival. Yeah, we've sort of gone up with Hornchurch the last few years, obviously playing in the Isthmian. We had some good moments with Hornchurch. You know, they were very upset that you were leaving. A lot of their fans were unhappy, sort of on social media. So it must have been a big decision for you to sort of leave at that time of your career as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously I've got a lot of respect and that for Hornchurch. Probably had hands down the best moments of my career at the club. So yeah, they mean a lot to me on that aspect. But I felt like it was time for me to move on. I felt like I did what I needed to do at that club. And yeah, I mean, the aspirations and the position, obviously, where Worthing were in the league, it was a no-brainer for me, really. And the way they play football, and the way they play football, I think, just suited me down to the ground. And yeah, since I come in, it's been going well.
Oh, well, yeah, really hit the ground running straight away. Fantastic.
Well, you have been compared to a certain former striker that used to be here of your style of play, and I think I could definitely agree that it's a very similar style of play to Mr. Ollie Pearce. We've lacked that sort of goal threat. I think we've got the strikers we've got, but that must have been where you could see yourself fitting into that spot he used to create for himself.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a prolific goal scorer. He's been doing it in the National League as well, so I'd like to think that I pop up in the right areas at the right time, and I have done that throughout my career, and yeah, I hope that it carries on. Obviously, we're now at a pivotal part of the season where goals are needed more than anything. So I will try my best to always contribute on the pitch, but at the minute, it's going well.
How did the move come about? Because it was kind of at a random time. We weren't expecting it, were we? I don't think. It just came out of nowhere. Obviously, Hornchurch. I think Hornchurch broke the story first because they wanted to, just out of respect, and then it sort of came out very quickly. So, was it a very whirlwind, sort of very quick thing for you, or have you been sort of looking to get a move and sort of Worthing were the ones that sort of came into the right?
Yeah,
place, right
I mean,
time?
obviously, I wanted to stay with Hornchurch in the National South. It took us 2 years via 2 playoff losses to get to where we are now, and it was inevitable for me to stay with the club this year. I stayed with them in the South. Obviously, I had interest in the summer. And Haighy did message me in the summer, to be fair. I just said to him respectfully, obviously, that I wanted to give my due and respect to the club at Hornchurch, and you know, it was a lot for us to get to the National South, a lot of emotions involved as well. So obviously Haighy was just in contact with me throughout the season. We spoke over text and stuff. He'd always kept an eye on what was going on, and at the time that he messaged me, it was just at that time at Hornchurch, I probably wasn't having my most enjoyable part since I was there, and it fell in the lap for me to come to Worthing.
Yeah, and you must have sort of looked at sort of as we said, Hornchurch and Worthing have been similar leagues over the last few years. Kept an eye on each other, always kind of been almost sort of rivals in some way because they've always been up the right ends of the table. And you must have seen what's happened at the club and how the club's built. It must have been quite an easy decision to make when he came and said, "Come on, let's do it." Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I've played here a couple of times, and when I have played here, there's a nice feel about the club. You get good support. Not only that, I've said it before, that the way that this team plays football, I think it just suits me down to the ground. It's hard running, it's all on the floor, intricate football, and it just suits me. And it was a no-brainer, really, in the end. I had a chat with the chairman at Hornchurch, and it was a long, deep, emotional chat, and it just felt that it probably was my time to move on from the club, as much as he didn't want me to. He totally agreed with everything that I said, and where I wanted to go in my career, and felt like it was the next step up from Hornchurch. Obviously, being where we are in the league now, it's turned out to be probably one of the most crucial decisions that I've made this year.
We've gone right into first place in the league. It's a bit of a boots to step in, isn't it? You know, wow.
But actually, that's quite kudos to the chairman from Hornchurch as well, that he is, you know, he's listened to you, and even though he disagrees, he gives you the opportunity to move on to better things.
Even to say that I was on a contract there as well, so it wasn't even like I had the right to leave. It was, they could have put a price on my head and I wouldn't have gone anywhere. He ripped it up for me, ripped the contract up, and said that I can go with goodwill, and I think that just shows the type of man that he is. He's always had my best interests at heart, and I feel that, and he agreed as well, that I'd done more than enough for that football club since I was there.
But I think that showed a bit on Tuesday night as well when you were back there. The reception you got from players, the team, and from the fans as well.
Yeah,
Even though they jeered you sometimes when you miskick the ball. But
yeah, that's
You're always going to get
that's
that.
going to happen. It's going to happen. It didn't. Yeah, it didn't ruffle my feathers at all. I've got a lot of respect for the club and a lot of people there as well. I put them in high regard. So yeah, I do wish them nothing but the best, and they know that. But obviously, it's time for me to push on in my career, and it couldn't be at a better club than Worthing.
Fair enough.
But I think, to be honest, the way the chairman's dealt with that, if you wanted to end your career there, you'd be more than happy to go back, like rather than leave with any sort of bitter taste in your mouth.
Oh, for sure,
like how it
yeah.
is, because you hear that so many times in not just non-league, normal football. You hear people that have grown up through the clubs and they wouldn't let them leave, or for some reason, and you're never going to you're going to leave in a bad taste. So it must be good, that respect.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your bridges.
Oh. How often do you see that on X these days? There's footballers. They've got five clubs in a year, and it's bad.
It's non-stop. I mean, Twitter's just mental for that.
It is.
You see it all the time. Just players leaving clubs and moving on to clubs, and you just burn bridges, and sooner or later it'll catch up with you.
It's refreshing to hear an approach like that. I think.
Well, eventually, you're either going to run out of options, or you just earn yourself a reputation.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So one thing that was mentioned is that by the chairman, Hornchurch left, that you've had interest from a club that's looking at going full-time professional, which we all know is no secret here. When it will happen, I don't know, but that must be sort of another reason why you're like, well, I could be a full-time footballer here, which is obviously what your goal is as a career. You're obviously driving down. You're still in Essex, aren't you? So you're not exactly around the corner. So you've got to have dedication and willpower to do that. So seeing where the club are now and how close we are to getting that goal that everyone around this club wants, that must be a massive drive for you as well.
I think it was one of the main factors as well for me. I feel like maybe, obviously, everyone went through the same situation as COVID, but we all lost basically 2 years of football. And in my head, I'm still 26. So I'm playing and trying to run around as if I'm 26, and I'm starting to feel it the next day a little bit more. But the full-time factor for me was massive. Obviously, I had a stint at Gillingham in League One, and that full-time Nous there was just it was something I always dreamt of doing, playing every day and training. And I mean, you're at your sharpest, at your fittest. Obviously, you have to take into consideration, as you get older, money comes into play. And it's mad because when you do get to that age, you have to consider it. So I'd like to think that, if we do get to that stage of the National League, I want to stay with Worthing. It's my main aim to stay at the football club. Obviously, I'm in Essex, so hopefully I can sort of come to some arrangement, or we can get
the coast's nice in Essex. He moved down from that area. He's an East London boy. He's moved down. I think he's moved down.
My missus is very supportive as well on my football, so she's always.
Have you brought her down to Worthing if she's seen the coast?
She hasn't actually come down here yet. She works Saturday, so I'm trying to get her to do a.
You're worried she might like it too much.
Yeah,
and
I know.
move down. You're going to be shopping for houses next time.
Your house next door for sale?
Yeah, the one next to Woodside. Yeah, is that why the caravan's on the drive there? Yeah, they come down. He's staying in there overnight.
That's a lot from Essex.
Yeah. Say that.
Oh, it's steady.
Yeah. Jacko's going to get us cancelled.
I'm at the positive.
Yeah.
Spencer's going to start talking about his manner soon and anything like that. You'll get him started. So, last couple of games, no point beating around the bush. Frustrating for all. We said it before you came on. You guys must be hurting more than anyone, because you thought, look, we're still there. We're still a point above. No one's complaining about that because it's in our hands still. But as we said before we came on, 7-1 would have been so much nicer. So how are the boys feeling right now? What is the sort of general feel? Because there must be positivity in thinking that sort of thing. We can do this. Come on, guys. We're so close.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, don't get it twisted. People from an outside point of view, mostly that haven't played at a level, have an opinion that think matters. Especially they think it matters to us as players, and we brush it off. You've got to have that sort of mentality if you're going to win a football league. Yeah. I'm not going to put it into consideration with this league, but obviously we won the league last year in the Eastman by 21 points, and the reason why we did that is because we kept everything in the dressing room, and as soon as we stepped on the white line, we knew what jobs we had to be done, and it's exactly the same here. We're fighters, and I can feel it in there. Obviously I haven't been here long enough than most of the other players, but since I've been here, there's this togetherness, the gritness, and yes, we've had a blip over the last 2 games, but you can't win a war without losing soldiers. So for me, those 2 games,
I like that.
Get that on a flag.
You can't. Yeah, we've lost those last 2 games, but at the end of the day, it's how you bounce back. And like you said, we're a point at the top of the table. You're gonna take that every day of the week, I think.
And I think we're quite lucky because I'm lucky in the sense that against teams lower in the league, we always struggle a bit. And I'm going to use Mark White always says, everybody ups the game when playing Dorking. And I think we've reached that stage now where people playing Worthing, they up the game because we're a scalp. But we always seem to do well against teams around us are higher in the league. And that's what we face now, aren't we? Apart from Hampton then, but all the other games are people around promotion.
Yeah, and we've got 4 games at this fortress. No, people don't like coming here. And there's a reason why we've got the best home record in the league. And I think that's going to show over the next few games. The next 3 games are, in my opinion, the biggest in the league. I think it will tell where we will be. But we are massively up for this game Saturday. Like, after what's happened over the weekend and Tuesday, the feel in the changing room, we're so ready to go.
It's giving you all a kick up the arse.
We're ready to go. In
we're
the
ready to go
as well. There'll be some noise.
And how does it feel when, the last couple of games with what's it, 2,112 or something? How does it feel to play in front of the amount of people and the noise?
Oh yeah, it makes a hell of a difference. Like, I know it's a cliche talk, but they are the 12th man. They are, because when the game isn't going well, or if there's a spell that we're not having a ball and we hear moans and groans from the fans, it's going to take effect onto the pitch. So I'll just oblige and please say that you keep supporting and shouting from the stands, because it makes a hell of a difference. It makes a hell of a difference to us on the pitch. But it is weird, I will say this, when you do go and step out on the pitch, you block everything out.
Yeah.
As a player. And a lot of people go, really? You just do. You're so in the zone in the game. But it does make a difference when you look around, knowing how much support we've got at the football club. It just gives you that extra boost.
Yeah. And I think we said it earlier, the team needs us now. We just need to be positive.
Yeah, it's more now than ever.
I mean, we're all up for it. I'm excited. I'm also shitting myself as well, because I would have much preferred to have 7.
He doesn't want to cry anymore.
He's done now already.
I don't want to cry anymore on camera. No, I don't. I don't want another playoffs, mate. So I don't think any of you do. But everyone's behind you. Just relay it to the lads. No matter, you might hear some grunts or groans and stuff. It's just pure frustration. We want you to get there. Everyone wants the same goal.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a lot more nervy to watch.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Because we want you to do well, but there's nothing we can do apart from cheering you on.
Yeah,
that's all we can do. And
totally
sometimes you
understand
think, kick that ball, but there must be a reason why you don't.
Yes.
And that is...
Yeah,
they don't. Yeah, we're clued up on what we're trying to do. Some things might, some things might not come off, but some things do. Obviously, we've got the right intentions in mind, but it's a massive difference knowing that we've got 4 games at home. Like, playing at this ground, it's going to make a huge difference. Like you say, hopefully we keep bringing the numbers here to support us and get us over that line.
There we go. Well, we also got one thing we need to ask him, and he's not going to escape it, even though he probably is the last guest of the season. Spencer, do you want to do the honours?
Spencer ain't got a clue what's going on.
Jacko, do you want to do the honours? He don't have a clue. Christ almighty, right. Liam,
do you want me to do the honours?
Is it the
interesting fact? Yes. What is an interesting fact about yourself? Christ almighty.
It could be anything. Doesn't have to be football related.
Okay, interesting fact about myself.
Something you've done, someone you've met. Silly story.
Well, give you an idea. We had a player from the women's team who lost a kidney playing football.
Yeah,
it's a bit of an extreme.
That's very extreme.
Yeah, I don't expect body being.
I don't really have an interesting fact, to be honest.
Or you've done something. What other career would you have done if you hadn't been football or?
I mean, I'm a builder by trade, but...
There you go. So if you want your extensions here, Nash,
yeah, if you want me round doing your extension...
I'm sure Biggsy sent me a picture the other day. Have you got a van, written van with your name on it?
No, but I'll have it.
I think you said there was some El Nash Construction or something like that. There you go. You need to go and find out where it is. Yeah, if it don't go right, there we go. You got that. But
quality.
Liam, thanks for coming on.
No problem,
appreciate you, Hen. I know you got a bit of drive in front of you. You did it the other night, didn't you? Coming back, you did it the other way. So yeah,
hopefully the bridge is all right.
Yeah, hopefully. But good luck. We'll be behind you, and hopefully next time we speak to you, we'll be. I'm not gonna say it. But you know what we want to be doing.
Drinking champagne. Yeah.
Out of the trophy. Where's the beer last time at the bar? Yeah. Thanks, Liam.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Liam. Thank you. The Rebel Yell Podcast.
Great to finally here from Liam Nash, and I can't say that I'll tap myself on the back because that was perfect. Face for radio timing, chisel, wasn't it?
I don't know what he's on about, but yeah, it was really good timing that Nash came in.
He's trying to say somehow rearranged that.
I did. I said I had knock on the door, double knock, come in. There you go.
That's on your holidays.
Good to finally speak to him. Actually, to be fair, because you know, as I said, like he comes with a lot of sort of reputation. That, you know, he could be the Ollie Pearce replacement that we were lacking, weren't it?
It could be, yeah. And you know, I said it during the interview, but I think how their chairman handled it, I think that is, you know, you have to take your head off. Because like you said, he was on the contract. He could have easily said, you're not going, or they have to pay X amount for you.
That's fair play, to be fair.
But you can see from him speaking to Liam what kind of guy he is, and I think he demands that kind of respect. So,
hi, Temi.
Hello, Temi.
Hi there.
Temi, do you want to join the podcast?
Hello, Temi.
Come on.
Do you want to have a word?
Chuck in the mic. Temi, welcome to the Red Bull Yell podcast.
How you doing,
Special
guys?
guest.
How are you doing?
Are you all right?
Good, yeah.
Got a nice pizza in your hand.
I know.
That fuel for the trophy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We need it.
So, surprise guest on the podcast. Welcome. We haven't had you since you joined the club.
Surprised you haven't, to be honest.
No, Jack won't arrange it. Jack won't
He's
arrange
had to
it.
invite himself.
Yeah, he just had to invite himself. You know, we just
I
sit
bet
here.
you
and go,
Mo
no.
sent him down.
Did
so
Mo
ask
send
him
you
some
down
questions?
Nah.
Did Mo send you down? No.
I just saw you. I was like, they didn't ask me. It's a bit weird.
Well, we only get on air once a month. I think if we were on every week, we'd probably be never get any listeners, would we? We would run out of things to say. But welcome. How are you finding the season so far?
It's actually all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
Obviously, started slow for me personally, and then we picked up. And right now we're doing well. And obviously, last few games have been a bit weird.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say.
So what's the feeling like around? I mean, we see it here now. Everyone's obviously, we're not disputing the team camaraderie is amazing, but you know, obviously a couple of frustrations. The last couple of games, 7 points rather than one would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But how are you going into Saturday's game after tonight's session?
Well, at the end of the day, like Gaffer's been saying, we're still top. We're doing the hunting. We're not being hunted, so we're going for every game. 3 games at home now in a spin. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we're gonna win all 3, and then go for the away games as well.
And also, we've got to play 3 of the teams that are around us as well. So you win those,
so
you know, you can't
big
complain,
games.
can you?
I think it's sweeter this way.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd rather the 7-point cushion, but it's better when you win it like this, when it's harder and it's tougher. So.
And from fans, we've also seen that, like, we feel that as a team, you seem to up your game a little bit more against the teams that are around you. Like, obviously, as a football club, you want to be playing top of the game for every game. But I'm sure we can all admit here that sometimes when you're playing teams lower end of the table, we don't always perform as well as we should. 100%. But it always gives you something to think. So that must be another sort of driving factor in these next few games coming up as well to get you over the line.
Yeah, for some reason, when it's the big games, everyone's up for it from starting 11 to the bench. But, you know, it's football, innit? It's like in the Prem and that, when you're playing Arsenal playing Tottenham, it's a different game.
Yeah.
Teams around you. So now we're going to be hungry. We're going to go after every game now because we want to do it for the fans, for you lot, and for ourselves.
Yeah.
To make history because it's never been done before at this club. So
I love this. This is fighting talk. I love
it. He's well up for it.
Can I just ask, how do you feel the season has gone for you personally? Because when the beginning of the season, you came on as a sub lot. And now, if you're not in the first 11, everybody goes, "Where's Temi?"
Obviously, I came. I didn't have a pre-season with the lads, so obviously it was a bit different. I had to work my way into the team, create relationships, allow the gaffer to trust me. So I bided my time. I was out for a little while, and I came back. And as soon as I got in the team, I didn't want to leave. So I kept on working harder and harder, and here I am.
You definitely feel like you've settled in really nicely in the club, and you feel the team and bonding, everything like that. And you feel like the right part of the match day experience. So, have you found yourself settling in really easy?
Yeah, it was easy from the start. Obviously, first couple of weeks, I was like, "Oh, Brighton, never been around here before." But then afterwards, it was just after a month, it felt like home. The boys took well to me. I took well to them. The gaffer made me feel welcome. Everyone was nice, man. Even the fans, unreal. Just putting it out there, by the way, fans made it the best thing ever.
Yeah.
When I heard my song, wow.
we are a fan of you, Temi. We are a fan, and you know you've definitely been
You're a fan favourite.
But the thing is, now you've come over to speak to us. You've put yourself in the hot seat. That means we've got to ask you an uncomfortable question, which is an interesting fact about yourself. So if you listen to the podcast, everyone gets asked this question when you appear on the podcast. So tell us an interesting fact about yourself. Can be whatever, not football, out football, in football, anything. He regrets coming over now, doesn't he? He's like, damn, I was having my pizza and
he's had to walk away from the pizza for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting fact about myself.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm very good at FIFA.
Okay.
FC 25.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm top. Yeah.
So if football don't work out, we sing you in the Premier League. Then is that what it is? Yeah. I saw that on TNT Sports the other day. I couldn't believe it. Like they actually show people playing FIFA on Sky Sports and TNT Sports now.
Mate, it's a YouTube.
I didn't realise.
Oh yeah, it's massive on It's massive on YouTube. And
I didn't realise how big it
I
is.
used to stream on Twitch.
Really?
Then I couldn't. I didn't have enough time, so I stopped. So I wanted to take.
Stop giving ideas. You've literally left the club now. And now you're giving Jack these ideas, and he's
Follow his Twitter.
he's now literally like he's had these ideas. Damn it, I've left the club now. So if you want to go and play cricket and play cricket 25 on like Twitch or something, I'm sure you'll do it now.
Maybe in the summer after we win the league, get all the fans on my stream.
I love the positivity.
We'll do a joint stream with you. We'll promote it on our social. Temi's playing FC 25. Do you play? What's it called now? The one I only just play like exhibitions online and stuff. What is it they play?
Ultimate Team.
Yeah, is that what you do? Ultimate Team. Yeah. So.
Very bad for my mental health, but I love
really?
it.
How many screens have you broken or controllers have you broken over the years?
Controllers a lot.
Yeah.
Screens, I'm more calm. I don't.
Are you literally about to throw that? Actually, that's about 2K down the drain if I do that.
When he's 4 days in, he's like, I haven't slept.
Yeah. So when he's on fire on the pitch and he knows he's up for it, he's had a really bad game of like FC 25 tonight, or he's fuming right now. He wants to score in the back of the net. So yeah. He just wants to get himself on there. So 2 promotions away, mate. You can be playing yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's a goal to have, isn't it? Temi, it's really nice to have you on. Thank you for coming on. And hopefully the next time we see you will be an end of season. I'm not saying it, but you know what I'm thinking. So there we go.
100%.
Temi, good luck for the weekend, mate.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, Temi. Thank you.
This is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Well, that was a nice additional surprise from Spencer picking up the wrong microphone to then Temi jumping on the other end. Who knows what happens when you're in the clubhouse?
I was just testing the mic for him.
The only thing Temi could have done was brought us some pizza.
I've eaten, mate. I'm fine. I've eaten. It's only Domino's.
Yeah.
Are you not allowed then? Because you're not a club employee anymore. You know how it's like no one's brought anything over here because these people that don't work for the club, you know, they
I've
don't
been
do
banished
it,
from the pizza nights.
Once you've had one slice, it's like a domino effect.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go. We'll try and get Haighy over now to try and speak if he can come over.
And you can bring some pizza with him.
Right, Haighy, welcome to the Rebel Yell podcast. You ran away from us last month and you sent Aaron, and Aaron's now a player. So what's happening after this month? So are you going to be putting your boots back on again?
No, Dino's going to be doing it next.
Dino's doing it next, yeah.
Another midfield player,
How are we doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah?
You all right?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Obviously, still top.
Yeah.
Point. Need to remember that.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you could appreciate it. It's incredibly frustrating we didn't get those 7 extra points.
Yeah.
It would have been much nicer going into Saturday's game with 7 rather than 1. But on the other hand, does that maybe fire the players up more, thinking, we've only got a point margin now, then 7 point where he could become a bit complacent?
No, I don't think there's ever a danger of the players being complacent. It's sort of where we're at in the season now. It is the business end, isn't it?
100%.
As much as it's a cliche. So no, I mean there's a lot of obviously frustration amongst the group that what could have been, but I think there's a few teams that could probably say that. The last 2 games, I just talked to Jack about it. The last 2 games, we've watched them back, and if we'd played like Barcelona and won both those games 4-5-0, I'd have been more surprised than what actually happened, to be honest. And again, I just said to Jack, I wish I was that good a coach or manager to be able to completely flip a playing style that you've worked on for 8 months, that Hinch has obviously built over a period of time. I'd love to be that good that I could flip it inside 48 hours without seeing the players, but I can't. To be honest, when I reflect on the 1 point lead, Farnborough at home annoys me a lot more. St Albans at home annoys me a lot more. Hornchurch at home annoys me a lot more than those 2 games. So obviously a bit of frustration, but equally knowing that 23 other teams would swap places with us if they had the choice. Well,
it's like when you touched on it, I think on your post Hornchurch interview, raw interview, you could tell the emotions were running wild. And, if you'd said, like I think as you said, take us half time against Western Supermare, 3-0 down, And you've said to us on here before, you're like, bloody hell, what have I got myself into here? Take it now, which we're recording this probably the last podcast in theory before anything happens.
Or the trophy lift.
Like, shut up. Why are you even saying that? Don't even say that.
No.
Don't even, yes, before the trophy lift.
Visualisation.
But
I didn't say our trophy
we would take the trophy lift. The trophy
Somebody will lift it.
Somebody's trophy lift. You would take that, wouldn't you, any day of the week?
Yeah. Definitely. Like I've
And I think everyone can admit I didn't expect us to be at this position. I'll put our hands up for it. Complete restructuring the club, squad, management, to be here one step better than we've been. As we said, every podcast, we said every year one step better, and this is what it is.
Well, even earlier in the season, you still couldn't picture this. I know you always were positive, and it's average points per game, and we've got to play, and this is where we're going to be, and you had it planned out in your mind. But it was still really hard to see.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're in a great place. I'm not surprised because I believe in what we do, and I've always believed in it. I believe in the players, and I think the players have done an incredibly good job. I'm just really confident with where we're at. I mean, I've managed. This is my third full season in management, where I've had a pre-season through to the end of the season, so that'd be my fourth actually. And in all four of those seasons, I've been involved as a manager in title races. So I know what it looks like, and I know we're in a very, very, very good position.
Yeah.
And again, when you look at the games we've got left, some of I don't know, maybe needs to be a bit of a mentality shift from the club and the supporters, and maybe that'll come over time. But when I hear the discussions around the remaining games, we've got Truro, we've got Dorking, and Eastbourne Borough, my attitude is, no, they've got Worthing.
Yeah. Oh,
there
you go, yeah.
Like,
bring it on.
We're top, and we've already beaten Dorking. We should have beaten Eastbourne Borough.
We won't talk about Truro.
Oh, well, Truro. The thing is, Truro, if you compare that team to the one that's playing now,
of course,
but even as we're preparing for Hampton, we've watched the first game back, and we're a completely different animal now. Like, that first game's like watching it in slow-mo, whereas now it looks like it's sped up. And
I think also Hampton away, the pitch doesn't help.
Yeah, no, but just in general, just the way the team's developed and the personnel and the team that we've become, I think when we're at it and we are producing our best level, I think you've got to be a hell of a team to beat us. And I know those high pressure games bring the best out in this group of players, the staff. So I'm just really excited by the remaining sort of few weeks of the season.
We know everyone's going to be well up for it, like fans, players, because it is in our hands. As I said, it's like, obviously you would be a bit more comfortable, but for a fan watching, it don't make easy watching to think we 1 point, but it's exciting football. This is the best league in English football right now, without a shadow of a doubt. You can't argue that. I'd like to see someone raise that to me and say, how can you not say this is exciting? How many teams are there at the moment that can win the title? 6? I think all 6 of the top 7 can win the title or something, can't they? How can you not say that's an exciting league?
No, it's what you want to. It's what you do it for. And like I said, I can remember that feeling 3-0 down at Western at half time. And my wife reminds me of what was said all over social media. So, that, and my mum reminds me as well. And
thanks, Mum.
Yeah, cheers. And I try not to look at it, but she says, I can't believe what they're saying about you. I'm like, Mum, I don't really want to know about it. But she's trying to help me. She goes, no, I don't agree with them. Like, don't make me aware of it.
Just don't reply, Mum. Don't reply, Mum.
Don't go away, did it?
Hello, it's Aggie's mum here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hashtag Aggie's mum. There you go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's on it. 2 foot tackling people. But when I think back to that and where we're at now, I'd certainly take the position we're in. But we always want more, and we know we could be in a better position. But equally, we could also be sitting 7th, 7-10 points off the pace. So, when I think back to when we went down to Maidstone and dug in and ground out a 2-1 win, I remember the conversations were, if we win these games, we're X amount of points off top, and whereas we're there now. We've got to pole position. We just need to defend it. And so far, even though we've had a rough 4 days, we have defended that position. It was only a week ago that we were drumming Hemel and Truro were losing at Enfield. So
Yeah.
and I just understand a week's a long time in football, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and we'll keep going after it.
And coming back to some games at home as well.
Yeah.
You know, the way we play at home, and
Fortress
again,
Woodside.
you mentioned again the sort of the mindset and psychology. You can flip that again. Teams don't want to come here and play.
No, definitely not. I mean, we've. It reminds me of my first time at Hastings, where obviously a different level, and this team's a damn sight better than that team. But you had the feeling that teams weren't already beat, but they were already a goal down. And I've looked at the last 2 or 3 teams that have come here, and body language gives away a fair bit.
But Hemel were on an amazing run. I went here and I thought, are we that good or are they that average? I think it was a combination of both.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because we often have these conversations amongst the staff, and sometimes we just need to accept that actually we're probably quite a good team. That's
Or did we make them look average?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think when we're at it and we're playing in 6th gear and we're playing with real intensity and aggression and we're playing forwards, we're running hard and we're going together, and it's the mentality of if we're 2-0 up, we're trying to make it 3-0 rather than consolidate. Like we're all in. I mean, we've got a saying amongst the group that we're at the blackjack table and we're putting all our chips in the middle and we're all in. That's the attitude. Like when we're like that, I think we're incredibly difficult to beat. So that and I don't think teams can cope with that.
Yeah.
And what we've seen, I think, against Chesham and Hemel, and more recently, we've done it in spells in previous games. Like we've done it at times against Dorking, we've done it at times against Maidstone, but we haven't managed to put complete performances together. Whereas recently,
on it.
I was going
to
to say that, and I don't know if everybody agrees with me. I think we're top of the league, we're playing good football, but actually, I think there's more to come because we haven't been brilliant. And I don't mean that negative. We've been good, but I think there's still more step
to come. Yeah.
Oh, there's loads more to come. There's loads more to come. Like I said, I keep talking to the bosses at the club. If we were full time, what could we do? Like as I said, we've trained for 45 minutes tonight. The contact time we have with the players is pretty minimal, especially this side of Christmas. And we're competing with full-time teams. So my feeling is, and I'm exactly with you, like I think we're only scratching the surface, and we just need to make sure that we win the league, and then we have an opportunity to build on what we've started, because we have just started it. I mean, and like from our perspective, obviously we're building on the brilliant work that Hinch done, and I'm not going to say he laid the foundations because I think that's disrespectful. He done far more than that. He built the house, and we've just rocked up and
put a wallpaper on.
Yeah, put a bit of an extension on. That's it. Maybe the odd chimney, but like it's I think we're moving in the right direction. I just think we got to win the league. As brutally honest as it sounds, we got to go up, because otherwise we're looking at another summer of transition, and that would be such a shame, because as I said, we're only scratching the surface with the group.
And I think, haven't we spoken to you since Partington joined? I don't think we have we?
No, the old boy Parts, yeah.
I think he's done all right, hasn't he?
He's been exceptional.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
Great addition.
He's been brilliant. I like those signings because it's not. I think it was quite funny. Somebody put I didn't have that on my bingo, National League South bingo card in terms of transfers, but he's been brilliant on and off the pitch. I think when we spoke before, we said that even with Kano, we needed another leader. With him going, we definitely did, and Parts is brilliant on and off the pitch. Whether or not this is common knowledge, but this is his sort of last dance as well. I'm pretty sure he'll be retiring at the end of the season.
He can't.
Well,
tell him no.
Yeah,
he's not allowed.
but that's what I mean. So he, he wants to finish on the right note, and he's been an incredibly positive addition. for us.
I found it really funny though, because obviously when it became a rumour that he was leaving St Albans, and then when he left, their fan base were quite happy to see the back of him.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought, how can you? Look what he's done for us.
Yeah,
I think
very
he's
negative,
brilliant.
yeah.
And I'll tell you.
Supporters being negative, surely not.
No. Oh, here we go.
Surely not. Do I give you the mic?
That's also what I really like about him. He claps everybody. He starts and once, and he goes almost around the ground. Clap everybody.
Yeah,
I think
he's a great man.
Yeah,
he's a great man.
But also, I think on the field, he shows his experience. He's not the quickest, but he doesn't need to be. He is. He's
definitely not the quickest.
He's good.
No, he's well, this is a measure of the man. I hope he doesn't mind me saying it. Is as we're preparing for Tuesday night, we've got a few selection dilemmas, injuries, unavailability, etc. And he said to me, obviously with Azza was due to start. He said, if it's a toss up between me and Paco, for example, coming out of the squad in terms of cover on the pitch, he said, I'd rather come out of the squad because I know Paco made the mistake on Saturday for their winning goal. And he said, I wouldn't want him to be in a situation where he's made a mistake and then it's compounded by him coming out of the squad. And he said, I'd rather come out of the squad for the sake of the team. That's a measure of the man. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't praise him enough. He's been great for me as well. Like, because he's obviously been around the block and he's worked with some top people like Eddie Howe and people like that. And so for me to be able to lean on him and get his feedback on stuff's massive.
So if he decides to hang up his boots at the end of the season, do you think you could hang around to the club as experience?
He's got a really, really good job with Skechers.
Is that what everybody wears Skechers now?
Is that also our new kit sponsor next year? Then are we getting Skechers as the new league sponsor?
You know you're in trouble when Glenn Ray's wearing purple Skechers. Christ, honestly, yeah,
suits him though.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I'm not sure, but I think he'd make a brilliant coach. I think he'd be a brilliant manager. So because he's got that type of character. He's a really good person. He's really honest. He's straight. Knows his stuff as well. So it's definitely something for us to consider. Similar to when I was at Hastings with Gary Elphick, he was obviously past his prime, but there was always a sort of view this could be a transition to part of the staff. So that's definitely something that we've thought about with parts.
I understand it's the sort of last day today for signings in the National League South. Is there any more additions to the squad this season, or is that it?
Dean Hammond
done.
Yeah, Dean Hammond's
put his boots on.
Dean Hammond, yeah. No, I think that's us. We're done. I mean, we would have. There was a certain ex-player who got moved to the Premier League in the summer. He was unfortunately on loan at Aldershot. That would have been Brad Dollahan.
Oh,
that would have been that would have been a nice option, but where he's at a Premier League club, his loans window to window.
Okay,
so he'd already committed to Aldershot. That would have been a nice addition. But other than that, no, we're as we are.
And what was it around the sort of Aaron coming back in? What was the sort of reasoning behind that? Because none of us thought we'd ever see that again.
Well, he had a misdiagnosis or a second opinion on his knee injury, original knee injury. And he muted the idea at the back end of last year about actually his knee might not be in as bad a shape as what was originally thought. As I said, got a second opinion, and that was pretty positive. And then we started dipping him into training, and he literally walked in with no pre-season. He keeps himself fit, and he's an absolute monster, monster. And I said to him, I joked around, said you could play, like scoring the winner against Dorking in March sounds end of March, April.
He needs to start talking to Tio again, doesn't he? And like talk about a documentary follow up or some drama or something.
But football's got a funny way of producing stories like that.
No,
It's
is
like-
that not getting Kane Wills back to score the winner against Dorking?
Yeah, he's still
I'm
signed
like,
on.
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
reason.
Get him back. Yeah,
There's a reason.
Get
no
him on
one's
that flight
taking the
and go
number 4
see him
shirt.
up.
Well, yeah.
Or the guy that threw him into the barrier. and go right.
Briggsy, nice one. But no, so as I started training, and he's an absolute beast. And over time, I sort of said to him, "What do you think?" And he seemed on board. And the feeling I got from him was unfinished business. As I said, he's then started full training, and I'm sure the rest of the lads don't mind it, but he's our best centre back by a country mile. He's an absolute beast. And so when he said, actually, I might be able to give this a go,
There we go.
it was an absolute no-brainer from our perspective.
There we go. Now, Jack, you're not on club business now. Is there anything you've ever wanted to say to him off the microphone that you're not allowed to sound an official?
I don't think so. You put me on the spot. You should have asked me to come prepared. I might have had something, but no.
He's blushing.
What he does have, and is a tremendous blooper reel, which I hope he's
yeah,
gonna
that
share.
is true. We want to release it at
It's
some point, but I
unbelievable.
don't know if we've got the right
It'll have to be
platforms to be able.
Got this
Past the
platform.
watershed.
True. It might be best saved to this.
Well past the watershed, that would be.
I'm just about to say that we need a bleep machine for that.
Oh, you need
Be
more
nothing
than that. Yeah.
Well, Aggie, good luck.
Just need white noise for it.
yeah. We're all behind you, no matter what you hear or say or see online or see in the crowd. Everyone is behind you. Everyone wants that common goal. We'll get there. We'll be fully behind you. Can't wait for Saturday. Good luck.
No, thank you.
We'll speak to you.
Just
next time.
on that, James. I know I won't get on my soapbox too much, but anyone that says it doesn't impact them, they're lying, and it does. Like I'm conscious that I've come into a football club where the guy before me is essentially God, and rightly so because of the job that he'd done and incredible. And so I understand there's big shoes to fill, and we've really tried to sort of integrate into the club as best as possible and try to continue great work that have gone before. And ultimately, I think we've done all right. And
I think you can be very happy. with what you've done.
And to be honest, I do struggle with, because so when we went 1 point clear after beating Aveley, it was jubilation. We're still 1 point clear, but we just got less games to go. And I just think I know that I'm talking about the 0.1% of the fan base. I know that the fan base is brilliant, and I really appreciate the support personally, and I know the players do. But you know what it's like for the 50 positive comments. You always remember the one negative one.
Of course.
And I just think, well, I think we're doing all right, and for some of the players as well. That was the bit I didn't like at Hornchurch, like players getting dug out, and I'm thinking, I think these lads are doing all right.
Actually, I've mentioned before, and I think on Hornchurch, I think the players just showed actually what they're made of. Because the first thing Danny did, came up and held his hand up apologising to us. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Ode Mo came to speak to us.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, but you know, if there's 2,000 people here, you got 1,900 managers here. You know that.
Oh yes, yeah. I know. I just.
And
think,
you're the loudest of them all standing behind him.
But it's just proof to show that we are all together.
Yeah, no, no. The players, as I said, I can take it on the chin. I don't like it. It gets to me. I'll be honest. Like I do, it cuts deep. But I think one of the reasons we've had some success is because I really care. I really care.
Oh, that's untold.
I really want Worthing to climb the football pyramid. I really want to try and help Worthing get into the National League and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do, and when you do feel like actually we're doing all right,
yeah, and you get negative.
It is a kick in the
I mean,
nuts.
it's like we said it earlier before you came on. Like at the end of the day, it's not like we're just sunk into the relegation zone now, and all that hard work's going to be undone. We're 1 point clear. It's in our hands.
Top of the table, 6 games
We
left.
win every single game. We're champions.
Yeah.
We got to play 3 of those top 6 teams anyway. It's in our hands. Squeaky bum time. Don't get me wrong, but
it wouldn't be Worthing.
Yeah,
without
it wouldn't be Worthing without it, mate. To be
We
honest,
never do anything the easy way.
we never do. But no, that's good to hear. Yeah.
The reason I reacted was because I felt the players were getting it, and I'll protect the players.
Defend them to the hills.
100%, because I know how incredibly hard they're working. Like I'll be the first one to point the finger if I feel like they're not working hard for the supporters, the badge. Like the first 15 minutes against Farnborough was unacceptable, and they got told, and that's why since then some players haven't played because there's certain standards at the football club that have meant that we've had loads of success or that we've got into this position. If you fall short of that, you're not only doing the team an injustice, but the paying supporters.
100%.
And I looked at that on Tuesday night and on Saturday, and there was no lack of effort. The players are working incredibly hard, and I just I took exception to that. I shouldn't do, but maybe I shouldn't do.
But why not? You're human, and I said it before. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
Pick your time to discuss it with somebody. Not 5 minutes after a game when we just lost 2-0 drop with you.
Yeah.
You know, do it over a beer 3 days later.
Yeah.
Stop that, James.
Yeah. Anyway, right. On that note, thank you, Haighy, and
No,
we're
really
all behind you.
appreciate it.
Cheers,
And equally as well, we really appreciate the 99.9% of supporters, and we'll continue to try our best to take the club to where it's never been. And again, I think our home support has been top drawer, and I think there's a reason our home form's as good as what it is, because we do go out there with that extra player, and hopefully we can keep moving in the right direction.
Cheers, Haighy.
Thank you.
Cheers, this is the Rebel Yell podcast.
Well, that was an interesting conversation with Haighy there. He's well fired up, isn't he, guys? He's well fired up.
He is. But I think, but even the players are fired up. And, you know, we were recording this in the bar, and we had a little break, and the players come walking past. Every single one of us are fired up for the running.
They're up for this.
They're really up for this.
Be nice for them to play on their terms, I think.
Yeah.
After the last couple of playing
I
conditions.
think everything that's happened will really fire them up, and I think, you know, they just almost want to go around putting two fingers up to everyone, going all the doubters, all that. You know, it's silly, isn't it? It is silly, and you know, you can just see, just talking to Haighy, like it was, it's pure passion behind there. You can tell he really cares for the club, and it's not like he's just picking up a salary, is he? You know, he actually gives a shit about this club.
They all care. You know, just speaking to them here, you know, they care that they've lost those 2 games, and they want to make it right.
And I think they will. The running's going to be tough. We're playing 3 of the teams that are around us, so you win them.
Yeah, but also they still have to play each other. There's so many games to be played, and you know.
But I don't know why people are online. I know you had it up. I mean, what was the reason you shut the chat down the other night on the commentary?
We had an influx of supporters of other teams just spamming the chat and celebrating Hornchurch.
But it's almost as if we've dropped. It's
so.
Almost like we've gone down. We're still above them. So, you know, I don't get that. I mean, yeah, banter and all that, but it's like, you know, everyone thinks Truro are going to win the league. Well, how? That if you look at the form guide, Torquay are the form team at the moment, but we're just behind them. How can you literally say that?
But that actually, it shows
mentality.
No, but also shows how good and big as a club we got.
Absolutely.
That people celebrate a loss. You know,
Yeah.
we lose, that people celebrate.
We had more replies to that full-time tweet than I've ever seen before on Tuesday night, so it shows you how much.
Because I was looking for it and I couldn't see the chat.
You know, other teams are looking at us.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, look what Nash said. Like, you know, his chairman let him go because he thinks it's the right move for him. Like, right move to go from Hornchurch to Worthing. Who would have said that a few years ago? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to think that, isn't it? It just shows a testament of what the club, the back behind the scenes, have done to sort of get players talking like that. And yeah, interesting chat. Have you had any food?
I'm thinking.
What, just generally?
What he's eating?
No, I'm wasting away. I can't remember last time I had food at
KFC on the way or something like that?
No, it was when Nicky really scored.
Chelmsford.
Yeah, I had a pie and a pint.
Oh, that was good. Pie and a pint at Chelmsford.
That was really good.
That's really good. Really good.
I
pie.
enjoyed that.
Have you had that deal before?
No, I did have an absolutely amazing goat curry at Welling on Saturday.
A goat curry?
Oh,
Jamaican.
I had to. Yeah, I had to. What did I have?
They
I had
did
some
jerk chicken.
I had jerk chicken.
It's amazing.
Jerk chicken? What, on Saturday?
Yeah.
No, at Welling, yeah.
You had to queue for 20 minutes to get it, but it was fantastic.
That's good.
Did you get into the hospitality or anything? Do they allow you in there, like into the
No,
ballroom?
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. He's banned. Yeah,
He's banned.
He's banned. I think a pint deal is really good. Like the amount of people that are buying a pint, I think it was £7 or something
Chelmsford
like that.
stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
They had fantastic.
'Cause we got a good
I think I
price
had a
on that.
bratwurst that day.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go, bratwurst. Very
Yeah.
continental.
Fantastic.
Very continental.
Real Essex grub.
Well, from your
Making you feel
manor,
at home.
from Spencer's manor, it'd be pie mash and liquor, wouldn't it, for you if it could be?
He's salivating there now.
I think doing something else. Good food then.
Yeah. What else do you want me to say?
No,
This is insightful analysis.
it's insightful analysis because I don't think we've got any Spencer services to talk about or James's carpets either, have we? We haven't been to a Have you been to a Spoons lately, Jack?
No, I haven't been to a Spoons for a
Do you
while.
know you've got to look
No.
at the carpet?
Yeah,
when you
the
go?
carpet is, yeah,
you've
you
got to look
remember
at the
well
carpet,
aware.
Yeah.
You sell this as if
Shut
You
up, says the
found
guy
this
that's
out.
got the book. He's got a book.
He also plays it off as if he's not interested in it, and it's just a silly thing. He's got the book himself, and he's taking them all
He
off.
sends photos.
He sends
bro.
photos every half an hour. I'm in the spoons.
Yeah.
Guess what spoons I'm in?
Well, when we're having a Spencer session in Worthing, like, that's the Saturdays without football. They're called Spencer sessions. So, Jack, if you want to come on a Spencer session one time, you're very welcome to. When you're not playing that weird sport with a red ball, you can come on a Spencer session in the summer or something. Guys, Support Association, new charity, St Barnabas House. Great charity, very close to hearts of a few of the committee members and fans in the club. Big looked after Gary and Sarah when she sadly passed away last year, or end of the year before. Great charity. And we're doing a fundraiser with them on Saturday at the game against Hampton and Richmond. There'll be a tombola. And Spencer, I know you'll like this. You get to meet Barnaby the Bee.
I know.
I bet Spencer's going to be first
Barnaby
in
the
line to
Bee?
get a photo.
I thought there was a bear.
Barnaby the Bear, it's B.
I thought it was a bear.
Barnaby the Bee.
I thought it was a bear.
Well,
They must have a different one that's a bear.
Oh,
I hope
was it a typo?
I hope it's not a typo because I've publicised it as Barnaby the Bee. So you're making me worry now. Oh, it's Barnaby the animal. Then there's an animal called Barnaby that will be around taking photos and chances to donate.
We'll have chances to donate. There'll be a tombola.
Yeah, some great prizes.
Lots of great prizes.
Some great prizes to win.
Thank you to Natalie, for
including booze, but you can't drink
70?
at the game.
Was it 70 prizes?
70.
And you can't win. You can't eat. You can't drink the booze at the game. So you have to pick them up after. Buckets to collect, and also last chance, hopefully collecting a Rebel Yell two-faced twin shirt.
We are
21
down to
left.
extremely
21.
limited numbers.
21. And on that note, Spencer's got something in his bag because we thought now Jack's been
Oh,
on the
this-
podcast.
Again, this is really good.
And Jack never actually
Podcasting.
Jack never bothered getting his wallet out and buying one when he could have. So we thought, just as a little thing, we don't know what size, so pick a size. You haven't got two. Don't be too greedy.
What have you got?
LXL.
XL will do me.
There you go.
Brilliant. Thank
There
you.
you go.
very
You can
much.
wear it with pride. You
I
have to
will.
wear it. You have to
That'll be
wear
on,
it.
That'll be on Saturday.
There we go. What, over the media, or you're not allowed to wear the media jacket anymore?
No, I'm allowed to wear
Okay,
it, but that'll
that'll
be.
be on- that'll be the
I might
pride of
brave
place,
it just
yeah.
a t-shirt
Yeah,
Saturday,
there.
depending on the weather.
Meant to be nice weather? Well, it's meant to be nice today. And look at what happened tonight.
I think
Like,
I think the sun's meant to be out.
During the day, it was all right.
Might have to go over the hoodie job.
I
think the sun's meant to be out on Saturday, which in Worthing means walking around in shorts and flip flops.
It is true, isn't it? It's true.
Spencer's weather forecast now.
Spencer's showers. Oh no, don't know what Spencer shower is. I don't really want to know. On that note, I think it's time to wrap up.
Donald Trump follows me.
Elon as well, his best mate.
He likes to shower.
Oh God, we're dropping the standards here, aren't we, guys? Thank you for all
We
our
didn't
guests.
have any.
Special surprise, Temi coming on because he wanted to be on.
Yeah, just sat here,
He just
didn't he?
sat here. I was like, "What's going on here?"
She was like, "Yeah,
It was
my
my
time now,
Yeah,
guys."
but then he tried to make out that we didn't care about him. We didn't have him on the podcast. Like, we do it
guilt
once a
tripped you.
month.
Guilt tripped you.
And where does
he
he come in from? Where is it? Essex as well.
Yeah, Billericay. wasn't
Okay,
it?
so blame him for living so far away and running away at the end of
Essex way,
training. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's only because he was waiting for Haighy and Nash, weren't he? Probably that was it. But thank you for all our guests, insightful conversations. Get behind the boys and the girls. 2 home games left for the girls. Get behind them. Go and show them support at the end of the season. Just come along this Sunday, and I think the following Sunday, one after. I think the first weekend of April. There's 2 home games left for the women. Come support them. Nothing to play for, but just going to give the girls some support. You know,
They deserve it.
yeah, and just come down, support the women. Come support the men. 4 games at home. There's 4. They're all on sale now, I think, aren't they, Jack? Yeah,
They are, yeah.
How are they selling?
don't have access to the back end anymore. So.
Actually,
have you heard how they're selling?
They're going all right. Yeah.
Are we going to have decent? I think Dorking. I think could be near on a sellout. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd imagine so. It's been setting up for that game being the deciding one for a while, isn't it?
And I'm sure Dorking will bring quite a few down as well. Yeah. And
what you reckon?
They've got a big fan base now.
Yeah, but
it's a big game, though. It is a big game.
It's a massive game, but I don't think that away following is as big as we think it is.
Yeah, but I think when we come down to A24...
With the nature of how big that game's going to be, they'll probably bring 50.
Need to get Jerry to sort a coach out for them, won't we? Jerry's coaches. Sort out a coach for them.
I'd imagine it will be segregated as well.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. For Dorking.
Yeah, because they're selling their own tickets, aren't they?
Dorking are selling the tickets, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be put money behind the bar like Mark. Come and have happy hour in here instead, won't we? But I'm really looking forward to it, guys. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be a very nervy, very exciting. But just remember, guys, top of the league. We're top of the league. We're a point in hand. If we win every game, we've won the league, and we've got to play some of those teams around us. So you win those games, we're champions. Just think this time next month we could be laughing at all this silliness that's happened recently, and we could be celebrating.
It's never been a better time to be a Worthing fan, is it?
No, it's not. And we've always said year after year, we always, since we've done this podcast, it's been one better each season. So can we keep up that record? And I'm quite hopeful we can keep up that record.
Change hopeful to confident.
Hopeful. Yeah, I don't want to be made to eat my words. Last time I did something like that, Bogner did a video about me crying. So, like, you know, cheers, mate. Commentator son's crying or whatever. But there we go, guys. Thank you, Jack. Thanks for coming on as a guest host.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'll probably still try and get you to organise some end of season thing for us. But even though you're not,
we'll have to get some sausage cricketers on.
No thanks. Anyway,
what would you ask them about?
I'll leave it to Spencer. You and Spencer could do a Rebel Yell ball cast or something. I don't know. Cricket cast. I don't know. Anyway, right.
They're the Sharks, aren't they?
Follow us on Rebel Yell WFCSA. Shirts are available, and we'll see you in the running. Come support St Barnabas House this Saturday. And,
but also support the team.
And support the team. Support the team. Get behind the team. And I promise it will be a good outcome if you do. Right. Myself, James.
Jacco.
Sponsors.
And Jack.
And
shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, but what's your name?
The sponsors.
And we got a new podcast host sponsor.
I thought you were ending without giving a shout out.
Don't
to
you
our
worry,
very kind and generous sponsor.
Our generous sponsor, the one that Jack nicked when he was part of the media team.
Don't put that on me.
MK Window Cleaning, Price Jones Electrical. Sponsor, you having the final word?
That's a no then.
Goodbye, sponsor.
I'm going nightclubbing.
Are you?